So, you're ambitious. You've got big dreams. You want to be successful, and ultimately, you want to live the life you've always imagined. But there's a problem. You're lazy. You know exactly what you should be doing, yet you don't do it. And that leads to guilt. Deep down, you know you're capable of so much more. That guilt builds up over days, weeks, even months, until it turns into something worse: acceptance. Then the new year arrives, and with it, the same goals as last year. You start off strong, fueled by motivation and maybe a bit of delusion. But before you know it, procrastination creeps in, like that one relative who always shows up uninvited. That lingering procrastination becomes a daily cycle of laziness. And before long, you've labeled yourself. I'm just a lazy person. But here's the truth: you're not lazy. You're stuck in a cycle, and to break this cycle, we need to go deeper. Most advice out there? It only scratches the surface. It tells you to delete social media, remove distractions, or set timers. Sure, these can help temporarily, but they don't address the root cause, the real reason you procrastinate. It all boils down to one word: inertia. In physics, inertia is the tendency for objects at rest to stay at rest and objects in motion to stay in motion unless acted upon by an external force. It's Newton's first law of motion. And it doesn't just apply to objects, it applies to tasks. Getting started on any task, no matter how small, requires an initial push. It takes energy to overcome that state of rest. But here's the problem. We make that push so big and so difficult in our minds that we avoid the task entirely. Instead, we distract ourselves with cheap dopamine, scrolling, gaming, or binge-watching. Getting started is the hardest part, so make it as easy as possible. Take the smallest step forward. For example, instead of telling yourself, I need to finish my 5,000-word essay, tell yourself, I'm just going to write 50 words. That's it, just 50 words. Suddenly, the task doesn't feel so overwhelming. The stakes are lower and you don't need to rely on willpower or discipline. If you don't feel like doing something, tell yourself you'll only do it for 2 minutes. That's it, 2 minutes, and then you can stop if you want to. For instance, if you don't feel like cleaning your room, put on a song and clean only until the music stops. The best part? You'll often keep going, cleaning longer than 2 minutes or writing more than 50 words. Why? Because objects in motion stay in motion. Once you've started, momentum kicks in. Initially, it feels like pushing a ball uphill. But once you break through that inertia, it's downhill from there. So here's the key. Start small. Make that initial push as effortless as possible. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You can apply these methods to any part of your life, whether it's getting to the gym, working on your side hustle, maintaining relationships, or anything else. Because the truth is, breaking procrastination isn't about willpower, it's about momentum. So, what's your first step?